Okay, how we doing out there? First things first. I think it's my controller. First things first. My name is Kenneth. I'm the oh man, I got all kind of mix up right there. I am the creator of a luminous 4K screen paint using ambient light rejection technology gain. Usually in these demonstrations, I'm using my Sony VPL FH30 4300 lumen projector, long throw. Today I decided to bring up the ultra short throw NEC projector. If I can bring this back right there, which I'm using now on my wallpaper screen. A few people are asking me, what does that projector look like on the screen we have upstairs? And as you can see, we got plenty of light coming in, well lit environment as always. Woo! And you can see that, like I said, the screens work on ultra short throw, long throw, and short throw projectors. Alright, so I'm just going to come out of this menu real quick. Let me see. Pop over to a few things really quick. To show you how amazing this looks on an ultra short throw. Now, the projector I have behind me, the Sony, is actually a 1080p projector. This projector I'm using right now is only 720p. So we're doing all this in 720p on ultra short throw. Tea. Oh man, they put sugar in that tea, really? So those of you, been looking at my demonstration thinking, gee whiz, the projector I have over here is quite a powerful projector, 1920 by 1200. And over here we have the 720p short throw projector. Alright, so I'm going to actually do a few demonstrations here and there, and then after that I'm going to probably pop over and check out some gaming. So let's check out. And then this one. Oh, that's pretty good. I'll need something a little more color into it. Ooh, that's a big shark. Let's go with so we're just playing through a little bit of everything. Oh, I do have to do this. Gameplay. Let's try. NFL. NFL highlights.
Just haven't had that kind of production from this offense this year. Here's Matt. That's a wide lane right through. Maximize their running game. The snap back, second and 7. Strike over the middle. First down and more over the goal line. But quick count, here we go. Nick, and he is stuffed. Exactly right. This is how you Get it going. Beautiful job of reading the blockers and setting up the return. Of this coming week. So again, the tough decision has been
I want to get to work on it. I got to do some work real quick.
Carr will play a couple yards deep from his own zone. From the east side in the territory. But their play has just been inconsistent. Play action from Minshew underneath. This is the throw on speed. Going to the tackle. No letter for Nick today. There's Josh Lamb.
Working on Sunday programs. Something new updates we're doing.
This season just under 97%. So take the call. 3rd and 2. Up just inside their own 29%. Fakes the handoff. Throws and completes. First down for Hilton. Still going. But to Sean Williams is inside Jackson territory. Center's been very efficient in the red zone this season. In fact, no interceptions. This is Nick. And he's in for the touchdown.
Basketball highlights.
What are you going to do for the holidays?
Gotta go to Europe, do a little culture. These kids are becoming morons.
All right, here we go. Smart. Looking for Tatum. Gets it in. Tatum takes it. Makes it. A lot of fun, no question. Look at this shot. I mean, no space to work. The game of 3 wasn't 2. Game. Got it out the goal of both. Caruso! Oh! Didn't know you had this bad, did you?
Their defensive assignments, Conley no good, but there's Rudy Gobert, the side from Tyler, into the lane, and nice job by Lisa. Now it's Fox. Good job by the home Fox. Oh! By De'Aaron Fox and one.
Porzingis lost it again, and this time James controls it. James all the way in for the slam! LeBron James has put the Lakers in front.
Baseball highlights.
Butter goes 3-2 pitches into the gap in left center field, hit a long way. Out on the run is Larry. Oh, and he makes the catch! An amazing catch! Sails the throw back to first base, and this is in time on the fly from Ruben. It hits it back and caught by Matz. It'll be a double play. Side retired. Whoa, well, that's how you double them up. Matz with the incredible reaching behind the back. All the way to the backstop, and look at this. They may have a play at third and ricochet right back to Sanchez. We have seen a little bit of everything tonight. That pitch was headed somewhere in the direction of Staten Island.
Ground ball. That ball going to shortstop. Right back. Dallas throws from his knees. Got it. It's his best play of 2018, and there's so many to choose from. This ball was absolutely scalded.
Randy with a bunt. Musgrove, one heck of a play! Oh my goodness! That is one of the best you will ever see by a pitcher. Swing a fly ball out to right field. That's it deep. After
Boxing highlights. Boxing highlights. Nah.
a lead left hook. Back foot to celebrate. One of the most dynamic young power punchers in the game. Jab is landed. Oh, man, that's so close. And in deep trouble. That's it. He's not getting up. What a shot. Holy smokes. It was It floats to Martinez just loaded up, and Marcus is on the apron, but much credit goes to Jose Cardenas.
Golf highlights.
On the tee from Northern Ireland, Rory McIlroy.
Wonderful record around this golf course. In fact, on the only 3 holes, he's 28 under par. That's better than anyone else. So he seems always to start the round well. 4-time winner this year.
Strike from McIlroy, bunker down the left. This is perfect. McIlroy second to the first, perfect tee shot. Nothing out and down.
Pool champion highlights.
So there's going to be pressure on the Philippines, even though obviously the country of Philippines has won it 3 times. Carlo.
Yeah, I do expect a well-played final, though. I think both you guys expect the same, and a close match in this alternate break format. Both teams being fairly successful on the break as far as making balls. And both of them, I know Austria got a little bit handed to them there in that semifinal, but we've seen them play solid all week, and I'm not sure the Filipinos have played any better match than they did just this afternoon.
Break. It's a race to 11. This is the lap. As they so often do, the Philippines very accurate in that regard.
Horse racing highlights.
Field of 13 that are all in line. We're ready for the start. Improbable wrestlers in the starting gate. Smith and Improbable settling down. They're off in the fracas of the faded Pony Express. Lost the jockey at the start. Unseated John Velasquez.
Well, he's kind of a little too far over.
Charge will go on to the early.
Oh, that's messed up.
Through the stretch for the first time. Arcade King is away running in second. Another twist of fate is third on the outside, and behind them is the Maryland horse, always fighting. Laura Willis fifth and down on the inside.
Dude has no jockey on the horse.
The break of another 2 back. Probable was racing about 7 lengths off the lead early on.
That's crazy.
Followed by Owendale and Signalman to the
See right there, look. There's no horse on it. There's no jockey on that horse.
The 2 trailers are ever fast and laughing frogs.
Interesting.
22 points.
Deep sea fishing highlights. Oh my god, I don't even know what the freak that is. Nah. I got a fear of fish. That ain't gonna happen. Let's go put in LG 4K demos. Over here in my well-lit environment. 720p short throw NEC projector. I paid $123 for. Let me see what we got else here. Now, this particular projector right here has a 10,000 to 1 contrast ratio. 10,000 to 1. I wonder what would happen if you put a light gray screen against it at 10,000 to 1. Now I'm going to show you something really quick here. This right here is my NEC projector, which is the M352WS. And then over here, same projector we just punched in, M352WS. I'm going on Projector Central and pull my specifications up on my projector. Sorry about the long loading time here. Alright, so this is my projector right here. My projector is 3500 lumens with a 10,000 to 1 contrast ratio. 10,000 to 1. It's way beyond this one right here. This one doesn't have 10,000 to 1. So you can see right here, 1280 by 800. The WXGA projector does 1610. But it has a 10,000 to 1 contrast. So, this one has a 10,000 to 1. If I go into my Sony, which is a Sony VPL FH30 projector. I'll pull my projector right here. I think that should bring it right there. My projectors, retail cost, they're expensive. But my projector has, in contrast, 2000 to 1. So this is a 2000 to 1 contrast projector. And this one over here is 10,000 to 1. Give you something to think about it. 4300 lumens, 3500 lumens, 1920 by 1080, no, 1920 by 1200. And this is 1280 by 800. So this projector actually pulls 10 times more contrast than the other one. But like I said, it doesn't really make a difference if your projector has a 10,000 to 1 or more, because like I said, you're not going to be able to see contrast regardless. Put that back up on my stand right there. So you can see right there. So what those will bring up are that's why I brought the projector up here. I'm going to do a demonstration at night. No lights. Everything's going to be dark up here. And we'll do it at 10,000 to 1 to see if it'll pull up on a gray screen. We'll do the Starfield demonstration. I might do a demonstration outside today too. Well, it's kind of warm outside. I haven't done a video outside in a while. Let's Starfield demonstration. 10,000 to 1 short throw. And let me explain something to you. The reason why I don't do demonstrations against daylight screens, daylight hasn't come out with a good screen in God knows when. It's not competition. Daylight screens are old screens. I'm sorry to say that. If the company doesn't like it, they don't like it, but I admit, it's an old screen. No one really buys daylights anymore. I mean, companies buy them, that's basically about it. But the screens now, the big dogs are Elite screens, Black Diamond, a DMP Supernova, Firehawk G4. Those are the screens people are buying now, but not daylight screens. They were out. They were big at one point, but now they're like, ugh. Keep in mind the projector I'm using is a short throw projector with a 10,000 to 1 contrast. 10,000 to 1 contrast. Told you. Even with 10,000 to 1 contrast, you still can't pull up a black image. So that just gives you a little mental note there. And keep in mind, we're in a fully lit environment. As you can see, there's plenty of light in my environment, and the screen is still pulling up a black image. As I said before, it doesn't make a difference how powerful your contrast is on your projector. You'll never use it. And keep in mind, you're not getting that for free. No company on the face of the planet is giving you that much contrast for free. You are paying for it. It's just an option you'll never use. You paid for it, you just will never use it. Now, this is a screen right here. This is a matinee black by Seymour AV. These are new screens that just came out. That's a matinee black. Matinee black. Let's turn this aside for a minute. See how much light's coming through my windows. So we have a matinee black. And all this light, so can't pull black contrast. Let's go with
What do we have here else? Use.
what's that?
Dark Star 9 is a really good one. I don't know what I did with it. Here.
We're going to pull the Dark Star 9 by Elite Screens. .9 gain. No contrast. BMP Supernova. In short, trying to get contrast to come out of these screens right here, you're seeing right here, these high-end screens and that cheap screen paint. It's the equivalent of trying to squeeze water out of a rock. On a 10,000 to 1 contrast. If you prefer that for 10,000 to 1 contrast on my projector, I could definitely get a true black level. No, you can't. I know my neighbors are probably thinking, why is this curtains down? So now we have our curtains down. We have plenty of light in the environment, nice and bright. Okay. Let's take these down. my curtains up because people can see into my place. Now, just to prove to you how advanced our technology is, today probably around 4:30 or 5 o'clock, we're going outside. I have several large projection screens outside to play with. And what we're going to do is I have one screen outside. I'm going to change the screen over to a much bigger screen. It's about 120 inch. I think I may paint half of that with a gray screen paint mix, and we'll do that demonstration outside, and let's see how well it holds up. I don't think it's going to hold up too well. Now keep in mind, I don't have to buy this mix because we can make it on our end, because like I said, we made it 11 years ago. There's no difference in it. If there's any difference in it, it could do the exact same contrast demonstration, and basically would have to prove all the other gray screens different. Can't do that. Every last gray screen is going to fade out when it comes to contrast. Whether it be an expensive screen or cheap screen paint mix, if it doesn't have contrast, it's going to wash out when it comes to black. When it comes to a black image, especially the star field. So over here, as you can see, on my floor down there, I'm not using mix against mix. I'm using high performance professional screens, and not the cheap daylight screens, because that's not a challenge at all. A real challenge is basically going side by side with the big boys, and I mean the real screens that make money. I wish I could get my hands on a sample sheet of black diamond, but like I said, I can't do that. But like I said, best ambient light rejection demonstrations, this is nothing. It's done outside. That's where the challenge comes in. So since we got a warm day here in Philadelphia, we're going to go outside, set up the projector, and I'm going to take a big, huge sheet of gray screen paint mix and put it outside, and we're going to do a star field demonstration. Matter of fact, we'll just do all contrast, and we'll see if the screen can pull an image at 4,300 lumens. But right now we have a projector that has a 10,000 to 1 contrast ratio, and the projection screens that we have over here are not pulling up. So the cheap screen paint mix is not working. It's not pulling up. And then we have the Dark Star 9 by Elite Screens. It's not pulling up because technically it's not true black. Then we have a Matinee Black by Seymour AV makes the Matinee Black, yes. And then we have a DNP Supernova. If I were to take any one of these screens right here, and I were to lay these screens next to any form of gray screen paint mix, this screen would fail miserably. There's no way in the world a light gray screen would ever come close to beating a black diamond or a DNP Supernova. It's just not going to happen. All right, let's come back over here for a minute. So we're using short throw instead of long throw. There is the projector right there. You can see it for yourself. It's on. That is the projector with the 10,000 to 1 contrast. All right, so let me move this out of the way real quick. Like I said, if there was any difference in gray screen paint, it all reacts the same way. There's nothing different about it. It all reacts the same way. You think I'm joking? Go out and get some bare silver screen. Don't even mix anything with it. Just get basic bare silver screen, get gray primer, and just go out and get a can of white paint, mix 2 teaspoons of black into it, and paint them all side by side, and throw a star field up there and see what happens. They all react the same way. Neither one of those screens can pull contrast. Just like the selection of expensive screens I just showed you, neither one of them can pull contrast. They all react the same way. And as I told you before, contrast is everything. You watch me play video games on here that involve dark contrast. Those of you play Modern Warfare, you do know you do a lot of stealth missions in there that involve for you to be under the cover of night, which means it's a dark environment. Those of you watch movies, I can watch Avatar, Batman, any form of sports in a fully lit environment, my screen will never wash out. So if contrast, someone tells you contrast is not important, and that's the biggest lie someone's ever told you in your entire life, because if contrast wasn't important, you wouldn't have it on your projector. You wouldn't be paying for 10,000 to 1, 20,000 to 1, or 2,500,000 to 1 when it comes to contrast, when it comes to your projector. And there are people who seriously believe because they have a 10,000 to 1 contrast on their projector that if they use it with the lights on, it's going to be getting the same black level you get from a black screen. It's not going to happen. All right. Having a lot of fun here today. Let's go over to this real fast for kicks and giggles. This is on a short throw projector, which means this thing is sitting closer to my screen than my long throw. My long throw sits back around 12 feet and 5 inches, but a short throw is probably sitting somewhere between maybe 4 feet away from my screen. And you still can't pull up a proper red level on a light gray screen paint with a projector that's 3,500 lumens with a 10,000 to 1 contrast. And this is 720p. So if a 720p can't pull up a proper color balance, why would you even bother going near 4K? Because 4K is definitely not going to pick it up. Let's go over to the color blue. See how faded all that looks? This is why when you watch these demonstrations on these light gray screens, it's always done in the dark. It's the high point of the screen. You can't do a demonstration like this. Screen will wash out. Let's go to blue. Color never changes, it stays the same. That's why they tell you got to calibrate your projector. Okay. I could bring my Casio laser projector up here, 2,500 lumens, and stick it in eco mode, and that screen still won't pull up at 2,500 lumens. I could bring 1,100 lumen projector up here, it's still not going to pick up. I got a few ultra short those downstairs. I can bring those up, and that screen still won't pick up. Now, I'm going to give you the ingredients on how to make Digital One crystal screen paint. That's the screen right there you're seeing in the middle. That's faded. And I guarantee you it'll react the same way as the other screen paint that maybe you might have bought for $80. So if you want to listen up, I'll tell you how it's made. Now, I don't care because we don't develop this stuff anymore, and you can see why we don't make it anymore. If you want to go a cheaper route on having a gray screen paint, I'll show you how to make one. I'll give you our old ingredients from the technology we developed 11 years ago, way before anybody else was making it. So, first things first, you can go get some bare silver screen. If you don't have bare silver screen, just get any gallon of paint, put a half a gallon, matter of fact, you need a gallon of paint, and all you need is 1 quart of black. That'll convert it over to gray. The more black you put in, the darker the image gets. That's all it is. It's just tint control. That's all black is used for. Tint control. Any form of Christmas glitter, hobby glitter, maybe glitter your kids play with. It doesn't make a difference. You're not going to see it anyway. So you put about 3 tablespoons of that in there. Now, after that, you need a form of metallic paint because they always put metallic paint in it. I don't know why, but we did it ourselves. So Metallica paint, if you make a gallon of it, you put a quart of Metallica paint in it. Now, if you do this right, keep in mind, you can't mess this up, trust me. You can make a gallon for around, if you're going to go this route and have a screen of this color, and this is what you want, then you'll have a gallon for around $30. You don't have to worry about paying shipping because you'll be picking it up yourself to make it. You can go right over to Home Depot, you can go to Lowe's and pick it up, and you can make it. And I'll guarantee you it'll do the exact same thing as all the other screen paints out there. Like I said, we did these demonstrations 11 years ago. You can check my old company under Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. We were doing this stuff way before anybody else was doing it. At that particular time, it was just us and Goose Screen before anybody else was making it. It'll react the same way. Now, the reason why this is no skin off my nose, because I know once you make this paint and you paint this on your screen, you're going to be in the dark, number one, and your image is going to fade all the time on just about everything. And you will not pick up contrast at all on any level whatsoever. I don't care if you darken the paint, you're still not going to pick up true contrast. So, but if you want to go the cheap way, this is the way how to do it. And keep in mind, don't even bother using your projector because it's a waste of time for you to use your projector. I'm not saying to be rude or disrespectful in any way, but just buy one of these. Just buy a knockoff cheap projector because this is the only one that's going to be able to actually give you a fair, proper image on that on that screen paint right there. Just get a knockoff one. Because there's no point in you having all that specification power on your projector if you're just going to dumb it down on a screen. That's all. That's how you make cheap screen paint. There's no special measurements. There's no special this or that. That's what it is. Because like I said, in our demonstrations, I can easily show you the difference between our black technology, and I've done it before. I'll post links if you want it. I've done black house paint versus our technology on white levels. Our screen produces a higher white level than any black surface out there. We've done these demonstrations live. So I can show you the difference between when it comes to white levels. Now, biggest question you got to ask yourself is when it comes to a light gray screen, what happens if you take bare silver screen, somebody's screen paint mix, and you put them side by side and you do a star fill demonstration, any form of OLED contrast demonstration in a fully lit environment, not cloaking in the dark. I guarantee you they react the exact same way. And if they react the same way, that means there's nothing different about that paint whatsoever. You can just make it yourself. That's one of the hard things when people check out our technology. It's hard to get a screen to pull white level. We demonstrated it. All right, so let's go from there. Let's pull up some light blue. Image doesn't change. Like I said, it'll stay the same. I guarantee any color I pull up, that image is going to stay the same. You know why? It's non-ambient light rejection, number one, so it's faded. It's a faded image. Sure, I can show you white on the screen. I've had this demonstration multiple times, and I'm going to say this again, and I said this in every last demonstration. Any light gray screen or white screen will always pull a higher white level than a black screen due to the fact that the surface is lighter. This is, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's basic common sense. It just is. Now, keep in mind that I'm going to take a black sample of black house paint, and I'm going to stick it up on the screen also to show you that when we put this on a white level, our screen will produce a higher white level than the black screen. But also to keep in mind that a white screen or a light gray screen can never produce contrast. And when it comes to white levels, a white screen will perform a higher white level than a gray screen on any given day because it's white. But I've done this demonstration before. Not hard to do, and I don't shy away from stuff like this. I welcome it. All right, let's see if we can find this. All right, so this right here is everyday black house paint. Because I've had some people say, what's the difference between your black technology and other black screens? All right, let me turn this to the side. Now, the problem you have here is the fact that the black house paint produces too much contrast and not enough white levels. And that's why the picture image comes up dark, where the light gray screen paint produces not enough contrast and the image comes up too light. Now, I'm going to put the screen in two different elements. I'm going to put one in a black screen setting and a white screen setting. First things first, let's go with the white screen setting. And also, too, we'll do gray. How about that? Let's go over to white. As I said before, any gray screen, any white screen will always produce a higher white level than a black screen. But our black screens produce a higher white level than any black screen. I have never said in any of my demonstrations that a black screen ever would have the ability to produce a white image brighter than a white screen. Now, let's see what happens when we pull it over to contrast. Now, you just saw in the demonstration, my black screen produced a higher white level than the black screen, black house paint. The screen is now produced in a black level. Now, this is the part you got to ask yourself. We can show that our black screen can produce a whiter image than another black screen. Question you have to ask yourself is, can a light gray screen produce a black image better than another light gray screen? Neither one can do it. Now, I'm going to show you something pretty interesting. Now, if you look at the black screen, you're probably thinking the black is much darker here, right? The problem you have here is that the black house paint does not produce a white level. And because it doesn't produce a white level, that means the image comes out dirty and it comes out dingy on no matter what you put it on. Because it can't produce a white level. It has too much saturation of a black level. As in, where the black level is too high on the black screen, or actually the black house paint. Where if I flash any colors, this is going to become darker and this is going to become faded because this can't produce a proper color. Even though it can produce a white level properly, it can't produce proper color. And that's why colors fade when it comes to light gray screens, which I'll show you. They can produce a white level, they can't produce proper color. That's why they tell you that you have to go in and calibrate your projector, because your projector can't produce proper color. Keep in mind, this projector has a 10,000 to 1 contrast, and the gray screen couldn't even pull up an ounce of black. So here we are in deep blue. As I said before, white screen, can't pull up proper color. Yes, you have a white level, you can't pull color. The black screen is oversaturated with so much of a high black level, it can't pull a white level, which means the image comes out dark and dirty. Our technology pulls a white level and a black level at the same time. Now, how is it that the light gray screen can pull a white level, but yet when it comes to sky blue, it comes out faded? You ever notice when you calibrate a projector, you don't calibrate a projector for white levels, you calibrate a projector for colors. So that just tells you something right there. The only way you're going to be able to achieve a somewhat decent color, you would have to be in the dark. So let's go over to gray. Now this would be quite embarrassing if a gray screen can't pull gray, which is kind of sad. Let's go with gray. It can't pull gray. The black screen still remains black, and the white screen can't even pull gray. But it can pull white, but it can't pull gray. Let's go grab the color pink. Now you would think pink would come up because it's a bright color and the light screen would pick up a higher pink level, correct? So let's try pink. Let's go to pink. Can't pull pink either. Color is still faded. Now let's take off the gray screen. All right, let's remove that altogether. Because the only way you'll get a gray screen to pull a proper color, you'll have to be sitting in the dark. And that's the reason why they're not ambient light projection. Because if any light hits the screen, it automatically fades just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the black screen, we're going to stick that in the middle of the screen right here. Da-da-da-da. That's just everyday house paint. What is the difference between our technology and everyday black house paint? Well, our screens pull a higher white level. Any black surface can pull contrast. If I go in right now and I just hit a black screen demonstration, you will see that the black screen will pull a very high black level, as I showed you before. So we'll go back. Let me do this one more time. This is not to disrespect anybody in any way. It's just to show you exactly what you are getting. You're getting from a screen. You paint your screen light gray, that's what you're getting. You're going to sit in the dark all day because your image will fade the minute any kind of light hits your screen. Now, the reason why the screen is so dark is because it's picking up too much contrast. We go in and we pull up white. You can't pull a white level. I got the, hold on for a minute. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Look at that. Beautiful beach, white sand, sky blue ocean. Look at the black screen. That is the difference between our technology and black house paint. Let's go over to my first personal favorite I like to do. And mind you, this projector is 35. I've done this on the Sony 4300 lumen projector, and the screen still comes out dark. Now, as I said before, I showed you in the demonstration live the difference between our black technology versus a black house paint. I've done it on black material, and yes, I've tried to find other black screens, but there's no other screens that develop a black screen. There's no, Black Diamond doesn't have one, and Elite Screen doesn't have one, because I tried to buy the samples and it just doesn't, there's none. They're dark gray. They're all dark gray. So with that being said, like I said, I've already showed you side-by-side demonstration. What is the difference between our black technology versus everyday black house paint? Our screen pulls a higher white level. Now, this is a question I have to ask those of you who have light gray screens out there. What is the difference between your light gray screen and bare silver screen, Digital 1 crystal screen paint, and a star field? Or any form of black contrast? I guarantee you that all of them will do the exact same thing, and they will produce a very low contrast level. And if that's the case, then that means paint that you're buying online for 80 bucks, you could have just made it yourself. Because it's all going to react the same way. Because they can't prove it to you. They can't show you the difference. Now, they may try to do it with the lights out, but that's not the demonstration. The demonstration is with the lights on. Any screen, any kind of screen is going to give you a somewhat decent, better picture in a dark environment. The hardest thing for a screen to produce an image is in a well-lit environment. So next time you want to drop $80 on paint, consider the fact that, and pay for shipping and handling charges and the waiting time to get there, you can just go down to Home Depot and Lowe's and make it yourself. Because if someone tells you that there's a difference between a gray screen paint versus another gray screen paint, there is no difference. They can't produce contrast, and they can't produce proper color. Okay, let's continue on. And I have people who hate me for this. They literally hate me because I'll do these demonstrations live. When they're out there saying that, hey, it's just black everyday house paint. That's what he's selling. And then we did the demonstration with black everyday house paint versus our technology on a white level. They had nothing to talk about. Got to do more than just take a powerful projector, stick it in a dark environment, and say, ooh, look how beautiful the image looks. You have to show why the technology is better than anything out there on the market. I got clients that spend a lot of money on home theater setups. $5,000, they'll pay $5,000 for a screen. They'll pay $20,000 for a projector. Easily, with no problem. But I can go out there and show them how, look, I can beat a $3,000 screen easily. When I got companies that want to buy 80 gallons from us, 200 gallons of paint from us, the first thing that comes to their mind is, what is the difference between your product and me just painting the wall black? There you go. That's the difference. I can pull up the color red, blue, green, whatever color you want, and I'll even pull up white. And I'll show you our technology right next to a white screen. Yes, like I said, the light gray screen is going to pull up a higher white level, but it can't pull color. It can't. It doesn't have that capability. I'll tell you the sad thing before I go. A lot of you don't even know the full potential of your projector. You don't know it. It's not to insult you in any way. You don't know the capability of what your projector can do because you're not using it at its maximum performance. Because if you're using a light gray screen, you're cheating your projector. I'm just saying, that's what it is. Well, let me see. That's space about it. There's nothing else to show off here. That's it. I'm done. Hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you all for your time. I had to go, but it's just a bit of an eye-opener. Because you spend good money on your projector, you do your investments, you want to make sure you get the best that you can get. I myself, not a rich man, and I paid a good amount of money for my projector. Actually, this one I actually got for a good deal. But the Sony standing behind me, I paid a good amount of money for, and I want to make sure I get the best of what I can get out of my projector. And if I took that projector, 4300 lumens, 1920 by 1200, and I hit that screen and it came out with that bland color, yeah, that would have ticked me off. I would have thought it was the projector. And a lot of people feel it's the projector. Like I said, we deal with churches all the time. And churches have 7,000 lumen, 10,000 lumen projectors. And they're nailing this white screen. And they can't figure out why the image is not popping up, why the color is fading. It's not the projector, it's the screen, because the screen can't pull contrast. So that's the whole bottom line. That's why I can sit here and do live demonstrations and show you exactly what it does. There's no point in showing you demonstrations that are already I'll do some pre-recorded sometimes, but I like to show you the live demonstrations so you can see exactly how it's reacting. But like I said, it doesn't make a difference. There's no light screen paint or white screen on the face of the planet that will ever have the ability to pull contrast. It's an obsolete technology. That's what it is. All right. I gotta go. Y'all have a good one. God bless.